Hey guys, it's Shane here from Tank Under Miniatures with Josh.
Hello, hello.
And today we're going through some of the inventory spam list I've made. As we know, one of the biggest tournaments was won recently by Guardsmen, bringing nothing but inventory spam. It was very effective. Most people do agree. It's the player himself was incredibly skilled. That's the main reason he won. But we do see some of the other tournaments I've been watching lately. Yeah, it's very much shifting the meta to bring more of this spam inventory. It's a natural regression of the game. Pretty much late edition, it sort of tends to fall into this meta where you just want bodies, because board control is the main factor in winning these games. Especially when there's the environmental factors, the board factors are so set in stone, you're not going to get much variety in what you can see and engage with. So you're pretty reliably going to be able to use infantry to, get the board control and put enough in your opponent's face that you're able to harvest enough victory points.
Exactly. There is a certain poetic justice as well to being like, I understand you have a powerful and elite army. I have more bodies than you can physically kill this entire game.
Exactly. I mean, it's how America won the tank war in Germany. Yeah, you've got a bunch of tigers. We have so many of our own tanks. For every one tank you have, we have 4. So, yeah, eliteness doesn't pay off when it's mass on the field. That really does the job.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start off. This is one of my favorites. This is the Sisters of Battle one I've made, the Army of Faith. So by taking the Army of Faith detachment, you're able to use more of the Act of Faith abilities. The whole point of this army is it does revolve around harvesting more faith dice, as you can see. So we got the Canoness. She can just do her leadership test. So you're not necessarily bringing her along. She's not here to go with the captives, the sisters. You'd more just be leaving on her on your home objective, and she'll just be aura farming the whole time. She'll just be sitting back and praying to get more miracle dice. So that's a Canoness's job. You've got 3 Dialogists. They're there to unbattle shock your units, which would be very helpful, especially seeing how it's so important to cap objectives and hold on to them. Because the more you hold on to them, as you can see with the Battle Sister squad, the more miracle dice you gain. If you're on the objective, 4 up, more miracle dice, and you're able to grab them. So it's not just grab the objective, it's now capped because you're Battle Sisters, and then you're moving forward. You're holding on because you want to gain more stuff. And it's really funny because I don't think miracle dice, they're not capped. It's not like with command points, you can only get 1. Miracle dice, you just gain. Which is, maybe an oversight. Do you think they meant to do that?
I don't think they did. I feel like it's just one little slip up, but I'm sure we can forgive them just one little slip up, just this once.
I mean, I'm just thinking that whatchamacallit, Dark Eldar, their pain tokens, they can just harvest as many as them as well. So
yeah, that tracks.
I guess it's just command points that they've like, no, we got to put a massive cap on that. We got to. That's where the problem lies. Hospitalidars, of course, they give a good feel no pain. 5 feel no pain is really good. So the way I'd see it is you attach the 3 Dialogists to Battle Sister squads that have the melters in them, because you probably take 3 of the squads going heavy melter, because you want to use that stirring rhetoric to try and get the 6s to damage or 6s to wound on your melter. That's where you really want to do effective. You can take out a big target relatively safely that way. You're hedging your bets a lot. And yeah, like I said, with the Army of Faith ability, you can perform it twice. So you're really not held back as much in your restrictions.
And that which one was it? the cherub in the Battle Sister squad is very valuable because the first time you spend that miracle die on the Battle Sister squad, you just get it straight back.
Yeah, it's just free. It's a free miracle dice you get for each squad as well. Then the Seraphim. The Seraphim are mainly there to be a support unit for these for the stratagems. Because instead of just doing it to one, you just do it on the jump pack unit. The jump pack goes down in the middle of a group, and now everyone gets it. So it's a great conduit unit that's just very mobile because it's just going to deep strike in and just give its blessing to everyone. Massive angelic blessing to the whole squad. And the novitiates, they're just infiltrate. They're just there to go up, grab the objective close. They'll either hold on to it or they'll, fall in battle. But if they fall in battle, of course, that's more miracle dice for you.
It's just part of the economy at this point.
Yeah, this is a very safe farming economy for miracle dice. It's a very effective miracle dice, build. And you can really take advantage of that by, bringing a lot of these Battle Sister squads. Because, your main damage dealer is going to be your melters. Melts can be ineffective if things are too tough. But if you're using your miracle dice, you're ensuring you're always wounding.
And multi-melter that always wounds is horrifying to me.
Well, exactly. So whilst you might want to go one of the other detachments, what's the other one? The fire one, where everything's better to hit and you have assault. It's sort of tempting to do that one, but
Bringers of Flame, I think.
Yeah, Bringers of Flame, but that's mostly a Rhino Rush detachment.
True.
Whilst they don't specifically have infantry spam detachment, I feel this would be the best infantry. It kind of insinuates that it's a deep striking detachment, where it says, "Oh yeah, bring all your Seraphim," but I think this is more better used for, when you could really use a lot of miracle dice. So more units, more dice, everybody wins.
Exactly.
I feel this one, and I don't feel this would be too sort of aggravating to play against. I think this, I don't think people would get upset at you for bringing an army like this. I don't think it's too disgusting. It's very thematic. I might even try this one. This is one of the few I would actually try. Looking next, Custodes. The Null Maiden Vigil for all things Sisters of Silence. Early in the Codex, I saw some people bringing this, and that was it. Then people stopped bringing only Sisters of Silence armies. So, there's a good reason for that. As you can see, Witch Seekers especially. 125 points for just squads that have flamers, just regular flamers. 125. That is insanely overpriced.
You think Custodes could do a little better with that? You think there'd be either fancier flamers, some means of defending them against all oncoming threats, or just, I don't know, more sisters?
It is weird. They don't have very specific, weaponry. They just have normal bolters, normal flamers. Here's the other criminal. This is absolutely criminal. They don't have grenades. None of the units have the grenade keyword.
Huh.
They are modeled with grenades. In Heresy, they have grenades. The exact same models you use for Heresy as you do for 40k. Heresy, they have you can take grenades on them. They have them. They don't have them. The grenade keyword.
That's just wrong. I feel like ever since they decided that the models that they were going to make are the models they'd have rules for and vice versa. But if you're going to have grenades on a model, especially if it's in multiple editions of games, you got to have that sort of rules consistent between them.
Because they used to have, they used to have psychic grenades, not just regular. They all had the psychic grenades, because I remember that, because when I first went to one of the Ark or whatever, and I brought them all. and he had a demon prince. He had Conrad Kurz, and he was like,
Oh.
yeah, this is my demon prince. It was just proxying for demon prince. I was like, oh yeah, Night Lords. And I threw, it was like, it chomped through all my Black Templar. Chomped through all of them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to pretty much solo your entire army just with this demon prince, because I put all the buffs on him. I put everything into this guy. I threw 2 psych-out grenades. 2 psych-out grenades hit him, and he had to perils. He perils on 6s twice, and he went straight back into the warp, and that was the end of him.
As is proper.
He was not happy. I'm like, man, that's just how it goes.
If you didn't want to go back into the warp, you shouldn't have rolled the 6s.
Exactly. You don't do warp dust, kids.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So that out of the way, like, it's not a bad numbers. It's 120 units. You do have 3 up saves for everything, but it is toughness 3. The main damage dealing you're going to do is the Vigilators with the great weapons, the great blades. Because it is weird they're only 2 attacks each. I don't know if that's enough attacks. There's no real ways to, increase that. But it is dev wounds. So the main strategy with this is you want everything to fail its battle shock. This forces a lot of battle shock tests. So basically you need the Witch Seekers to go with the Vigilators. So they force the battle shock tests with the Sanctified Flames ability. So they cause battle shock tests. And that's the thing, you can have 1 Witch Seeker left in your squad. She's still causing, she just has to hit once. Just one of them has to hit. That's a battle shield. That's a battle shock test. And as soon as it fails, you can then use a strat, and you get reroll to wound. So with the rerolling dev wounds, that should be pretty easy to dev wound something to death, even large.
The one thing I've been thinking about this for a minute here. They definitely mention a lot about psychers throughout this entire list.
That's the other thing. It's a very much tailored rule set.
Like you can definitely do well against, say, Thousand Suns, against Grey Knights, against some elements of like an Imperial Agents list. Why doesn't it extend to demons?
That's a very good question.
GW, get on it, please. It's just a find and replace in all your text.
Yeah, literal demons who are beings of the warp, and your anti-warp guys.
Don't touch them.
Yeah.
Not even a little.
They're just the same.
Please explain.
It's weird. I don't have an answer for you there. That was the thing with the Custodes Codex. We all believe very little actual effort went into it. That's why they had to fix it at least a couple of times.
Yeah, that tracks.
After it was released. So it can do okay. You just have to really hope that all your battle shock tests go off, because you are forcing a lot of leadership tests. And basically when something's leadership is broken, that's when they're really effective against it. And essentially that is good, because you want that anyway to be able to take objectives. But it's just so specific. You have to have these combos going off perfectly for these guys to be really effective.
High risk, mid reward.
Yeah. So it's not an army that's going to do super well. And like I said, there's no real anti-large. No real damage dealing.
You're leaning on 30 toughness 3 infantry to be able to put down anything particularly tough. And even then, like you said, only with the combo.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have... And there's no way to get more command points as well.
Ooh.
They don't have, an ability to generate those. So, yeah, there's just not a lot going on for this. So as cool as it is, because I remember Josh from Mini Wargaming, he loved, the idea of having the army, but he couldn't really put it into practice very much. He couldn't really use it in a lot of cases.
Yeah, the rules just don't support the dream.
No. So, Custodes, this is going to be yeah, not a recommended if you want to win. If you just want it, then yes, here's how you do that. Alright, so next we got AdMech. This is probably one of the best. You got 140 units, 3 characters. So look at the characters, 35 points for a marshal. That gives free, like, full rerolls.
That is an economic way to wage battle, I tell you what.
Exactly, and like Rangers and Vanguards, they have good weapon choices. They have a lot of cool, like you can equip them with like damage dealing weapons for all types of, yeah, anti-infantry, anti-large stuff. So you have these battle line units that are cheap, that are accurate, and that have a toolkit, you know, to take on almost any enemy. And you can spam them. They all have stealth, just built in. And yeah, as you can see, it's very, very mobile as well. You can just redeploy some things. Yeah, here we go. The servo uplink. Yeah, you can unbattle shock chest them. You got scout with the Rangers. The Vanguard will use the rad saturation to steal objective control. And then the Rust Stalkers. These are insane as well. I didn't put the weapon load out there, but basically they give dev wounds. So the Rust Stalkers, I've gone against it. I've gone against mass Rust Stalkers before. They hurt. They rip your tanks apart because with their dev wounds abilities.
Ooh, that is very dangerous looking, yeah.
And yeah, with the program withdrawal, you can just bring it out. Yeah, it's like... sorry. Most of the Rust Stalkers, it's like, alright, they're doing something. I can just pull them out of combat. I can just pull them off the battlefield and just put them back in somewhere. Yeah, for 1 CP, that's 300 points that you can just redeploy.
Well, damn.
So
I can see that you flank fully up one side, you clear off the enemies there, and then you just come straight off the other flank.
Yeah, you just redeploy, you just teleport to the other side of the board.
Horrifying.
Yeah, and then you're also getting, as it says, if you've got a battle line unit next to it with the optimized gate, you get, yeah, +2 to charge rolls.
That's a 7 on a deep strike charge. Oh boy.
Yeah, you just bring it back round. So you've got a lot of ability here. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Yeah, granted, they are, they're only toughness 3. They're essentially humans. But you have so many of them. And they're all hard to kill because they're all stealth. They're all very killy themselves because, yeah, it's a 4-up, but you just put them in the assault doctrine, and now they got +1 to ballistic skill. So they're hitting on 3s with rerolls, a lot of them.
Whole army's got invuln saves?
Yeah, 6-up invulns.
Yeah.
Yeah, bionics.
This is an army that's going to put out a horrifying quantity of firepower, and it's going to do so at all ranges, and just not care as much about your return fire as you'd like.
Exactly. This is... Yeah, I feel this is probably one of the most strongest ones there. I think it's getting used a bit. I think Skitarii are sort of coming back a bit more. I think some of the tournaments I saw that the Skitarii were ranking a bit higher. But I really feel this could really do some work. Because it is, yeah, 140 units. So it's not the biggest, but it's one of the, it is on the larger size of infantry spam as lists go. So what do we got next? Aha! Grey Knights.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, 55 units. This is the biggest infantry spam they can get. Winters just recently put out a battle report where he did like a 2K version of this. It lost.
Really?
It lost to World Eaters. They, yeah.
Yeah. That'll do it.
So, of course, you're going Brotherhood Strike, so you want to be, Gate of Infinity, everything. You want to be moving every turn, deep striking in everything, just to get that bonus. The Chaplain, you attach him to the Terminator squad, and he can de-battle shock some units. That can be very useful. That can be very clutch. He's rerolling the charge, so the Terminators can get in. as the Terminators are about the only ones that are really going to do a lot of sort of damage in melee. I mean, the benefit is everything got a 2-up armor save, and everything's fast. But even still, even though this is their cheapest form of inventory spam, it's still an elite army. They only have the ability to just be an elite army. That's all they have. But yeah, the Terminators can come back with the Apothecary. The Champion, yeah, just lets you advance and charge. And just makes you a little,
It'll be a rough fight running these guys, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like I said, when I saw Winters playing his, against the World Eaters, it was cool to see. Like, it was a neat army, because it is fun, being able to bounce around so much. But it just doesn't have a lot. What did I say for my notes? Yeah, no good anti-large. Yeah, far too elite to be considered spam.
But to be fair, the army has struggled with anti-large for a very long time now.
Yeah, the only thing that really has anti-large for these guys is the Dread Knights. You've got to use them to take out any sort of vehicles or big monsters. Really, the way you're dealing a lot of damage is with the True Silver stat up the top there that gives you dev wounds on your psychic weapons.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest problem with that is it's still a gamble, because you could still just roll no 6s. You could just, try and use your side cannons or your silencers and just shoot everything, and you could only roll, like, nothing above a 5 to wound, and you've just wasted 2 command points.
Yeah, that's like so many of these strats are just 2 CP for not a whole lot.
No, like, the Expeditious Exit is kind of good, because you can go into Deep Strike just even though you're in combat. Because a lot of them, to like be taken off the board, you have to be a distance away from an enemy. This one is just, you're back. Doesn't matter where you are, you're back and, strategic reserve, but it is expensive.
Honestly, I would have rewritten that one, make it 1 CP if it's a battle line unit. Just that simple. Like, the guys you don't want in combat, they can come out cheaper. But this is the thing. They have fewer models and a markedly worse chaff army list than the Custodes. Like that is the elite of I can't do this.
That's a good point. If this were to go against the Sisters of Silence one, this would lose very fast.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, that's
Grey Knight, what are you doing?
I think they're just I think maybe the theory that the Grey Knights are just going to be eaten by the Emperor. They're just going to be goaded to attack the Emperor if he tries to move the throne. So he's just gonna harvest all of them just to get power.
I would genuinely pay quite a fairly sizable sum of money, I think, to watch a Warhammer Plus video where it's literally the Emperor strapped to the Golden Throne, force-fed the Grey Knights Codex to just emulate, hey, the army is going away now. I'm eating the Grey Knights. I'm eating the book.
And then, that'll just supercharge me completely.
Yep. The entire Grey Knights Codex is 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, or 3,000 points, the Emperor, and just a list of powers that he has depending on how many points you pay.
I mean, it's kind of be like the Yunari, where it just feeds on souls. It's just you bring the Emperor as like the Yin Khan, and just he eats Grey Knights to just do his abilities.
Yeah, I'd see that. I think that'd be a fun mechanic.
It's like, okay, this is your Emperor now.
Yep.
He's literally Nagash.
Yeah, defeat, like, pick a unit within some number of inches, destroy D3 models in that unit, and you can cast his power again. There is no limit to the number of times you can do this in one turn.
Oh, that would get, I don't know what kind of response that would get. We're going straight back to stupid Grimdark.
eyebrows in the stratosphere. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'd like that. All right, so after that mess, agents with the Imperial's fleet.
Yeah.
This
is a tight one. I like this one.
Yeah, no, this is my favorite. So this is 148 units, 4 characters. This is great because the narrative is just, it's a ship that just sort of, it surrounds a planet. So you've just got the battle fleet around, and it just dumps out all its guys. They all come off the ship, and they're just down on the planet, ready to take it. It's a ship worth of guys. So the Inquisitor comes out. The Inquisitor's there. I only put the one because the other abilities, you just choose the other one. The other one just gives you better attack. The better attack is irrelevant. Only the objective control is what really matters. You getting rerolls to hit, whatever. Because you're not going to be doing that much damage with this army. That's not what it's for. It's for holding objectives. So the Inquisitor is there just for have clandestine operations. That lets you have infiltrate on your vigilance.
Ooh.
So vigilance or the subdicators, because the subdicators, I can see down the bottom, their main rule, of course, is they have the Nuncio Aquila. So they can say, hey, if you're going to hold this command point, I'm going to make it difficult for you. And they also have the 3-up save, 4-up invuln. So the subdicators, they're cheap as well. 85 points for 11 of them. And they got a 4-up invuln. So you could infiltrate them onto the points first turn. So they're holding on to them pretty good. You then have a navigator that has the combat landers. So now you've got 3 breacher squads that are deep striking in. The other one is just the Fleet Master. You can just get those stratagems for free. They're not that great. They're just pretty much attack ones. Not important. But the benefit with the Inquisitor is she's great at doing dev wounds. She gives a 6-up invuln. That's mainly the reason you're sort of bringing her in the field. Once she's done her clandestine operation, that's her job pretty much done. She doesn't really need to do much more, but the dev wounds is going to be helpful, especially because you don't have a lot of big damaging stuff. It's useful to have. The navigators are even better because, of course, they can deny deep strike and reinforcement within 12. That's a big bubble of just, yeah, you have to walk into this area. You can't do shenanigans in this area. That's a good denial stratagem. And you can battle shock, you can battle shock test people, which is also great for holding the objectives, and then they take mortal wounds as well. And you can have 3 of them. They're 60 points. You can have 3.
Yep. This is a nightmare for any close combat dedicated army. Tyranids would suffer. Anything Khorne would suffer. Orcs would suffer.
Yeah, and it's not like they're bad at combat because they all got shotguns. They all got like shotguns. The breaches have really fun weapons. You can take a Weber. That's some dev wounds there. It's low strength, but it's, that's kind of fun. You have these strats, displacer field. Everything's got a 4-up invuln now because your Inquisitor has a displacer field. Emperor's Will, fall back and shoot. Master of the Void. Enter the phase, strategic reserve. They can just be in the enemy's deployment zone. You can just put something in reserve and it's going to appear turn 2 on the opponent's side of the battle.
Yeah, that's not gonna lie, that's pretty nasty. I like it.
So it's very much like a Scion sort of deep striking detachment. So it's all your subdicate, all your whatchamacallits, what are the squads? Damn it, I can't believe I forgot them. The Vigilance and the Subdicators, what are they? They're not... what's their thing called?
Retinue?
Yeah, what...
Arbites?
Arbites.
Yep.
You have Arbites, which everyone loves because they're awesome. And you have these breaches, which are really fun, old world spaceman sort of themed guys. So it's, yeah, I feel this one's going to be super fun as well, but it's incredibly competitive as well.
It's got strong pirate themes. It's got strong old school pirate themes. You drop in, you take what you like, and everyone else has to struggle and panic to get you away from it.
Pretty much. I see it as like old, like English Navy, where you have your red coats as well as your Marines that just all come off a ship and they're just running down onto the shore. Very, whatchamacallit, Hornblower-esque.
This is ours now, and you're welcome to contest that.
Man, you could ring this up so they could all be like out of Hornblower. The Inquisitor can be, yeah, Horatio. Then you got his sub-captains as your navigators. Yeah, this is fun.
Put it together. Get it done. Let's do it.
Oh, we could. So yeah, very much your rogue trader sort of themed army here. And yeah, I just really like that. This is like the good way to play. I don't know if this is how you were supposed to play agents, but it's how I think you're supposed to play agents. Because I think no one wanted to play, Death Watch with agents.
Yeah.
Then they had to say, all right, Death Watch and our Marines again. Sorry, they're back. We'll take them out of that. Our bad. And yeah, the other ones with the Grey Knights and the Sisters weren't great. Because it's like, why bring them as part of this? Why not just bring them in their own detachments where they're better? There was no incentive to do it.
True.
So this feels...
It's thematic, but it doesn't function. If it doesn't function with this theme, it's like, put them on the table, take your picture, and... I don't know, take something that works better with your actual army.
Yeah, exactly. So this fits very much what the uniqueness that the army can bring. It's a thing specific to it, and it's, yeah, using the best of their abilities. Yeah, so that's, yeah, about over 150 models. So that's nothing to sneeze at.
Strong.
Marines, so Space Marines.
Oh,
this one I think would also do great. This is one of the new detachments. It's the detachment for whatchamacallit, for Raven Guard, where you take its Atheon Shan's special detachment. So you're already Masters of Shadow. You're already full like vanilla Marines. So you've got the better Oath of Moment. So you've got the reroll to hit and the +1 to wound for your Oath of Moment target. You've still got that, as well as your stealth, as well as his own little ability to into shadows anything for 0 CP. You can just take things off the field as you feel. And as you can see with the stratagem Into Darkness, that can be 2 scout squads or just 1 infantry. So if they're still there, you're pulling them back, and that's pretty cool.
You got your enemy running their army around the board, desperately trying to pin you down. You're simply not there.
Yeah, and Atheon Shan, he's an incredibly good assassin. He is only a combat assassin, but he can just deep strike in. You know, he's got the reroll to charge. You can give him lay low the tyrants. Now he's got precision, so he's gonna be, and he's got like the actual claws. He's got dual claws, which of course have shred. So he's going to take out most characters pretty easily, and then just disappear back off the shadows with his lone op and his stealth. So yeah, he's good just to run around just by himself and just do the assassinating while all your other guys are doing the actual work. So the tactical squads, I don't know if it's better to then split them, because then you've got, instead of 6 10-man squads, 12 5-man squads. And that can be a really good roadblock, because say you're going up against like a big block of berserkers, and the berserkers want to charge in. So if you had a 10-man squad, it's going to wipe them all out. But if you just have a 5-man squad that's being charged, and your other 5 men somewhere else, you can only take out 5 at a time. That's a massive roadblock. So don't give your opponent the ability to just wipe out all your stuff in one go. So it's a good counter to like, yeah, armies that have a lot of overkill in melee. This is a great counter to that. As for the heroes attached, you've just got Ancients. Ancients are really cheap, 50 points. And they give the better objective control. And if they're the last unit, so the rest of the tactical squad gets wiped out, they're the last one on the objective, they're going to, feel no pain 4 up. So they're going to hold the line if they're on an objective. It's very hard to bring them down. It's kind of funny, though, because I'm bringing Ancients with the banners, but this is a stealth army that doesn't like being seen. But here's our big flag.
Stealth banners, don't worry about it.
Essentially, it's that. It was like, look at our big flag. I can't see it. Well, it's there.
I would pay for a Raven Guard Ancient, which is literally just the base, the flag stuck in the ground, and then hidden behind the flag is the Marine with a knife.
Come get it. Come on, come take the flag.
It's just a flag. What are you worried about?
No, don't worry. Don't worry about it. And yeah, you got a lot of fun strats with this one as well. It's all good. It's able to move and fall back, do movement. So you got a lot of good mobility here, as well as a lot of good damaging ability. Because you could, and you got to infiltrate on the scouts, and then scout with the scouts as well. And you just bring, you can bring a missile launcher, you can bring a sniper rifle, 6 tactical squads, that's 6 las cannons. So they've got the ability to take out almost anything. Like, they got enough weapon choices, they're going to be able to handle most things, and they're very defensible, and they're very objective control. So this is incredibly well-rounded. And it's all firstborn. That's the best thing about it. It's all firstborn. This is essentially like a heresy-style army. Where you're not really worrying about the vehicles. This is exactly thematic for Raven Guard. This is what Raven Guard are supposed to be doing. Minus the jump pack guys.
Wow, yeah.
It's a full, like, probably second company detachment for, or is it 8 that they have the squad? I don't know. It'd be nice if they all just had the same company thing that they all followed, but everyone's a little different.
Well, we'll see how we go in the next edition, I suppose.
Well, that's it. Cool. So yeah, I really think this could do some work. I think it's something a lot of people could play if they just have their old Marines just lying around. Like, you don't need to have anything upgraded. You can just have your old 7th, 6th edition armies, and that's what this is. So I'd really like to see people bring in this guy. Oh, I guess Ethan Shard is a Primaris. My bad. Everyone except for the leader is Primaris.
He's just slightly taller. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. You can model him however you want. So if you bring demons, the best way to do that, because of course if you bring demons, you just bring the massive giant demon models, and you just win that way. But if you're not going to do that, you're just going to bring Plague Legion, as you've got the best board control with Nurgle. I will say, don't bring this. I'm saying this is probably the best thing to bring, but I'm saying don't. Everyone will hate you. I hate that I put this into existence. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever done. So, of course, you've got the Nurgle ability where you can force command. In the command phase, you can force battle shock tests. Everything about this army is causing battle shock. Like, even more so than the Sisters of Silence. And of course, when you're in the shadow of the warp, by having the objective markers, you bring stuff back to life. The thing with that is Plague Bearers have 2 wounds, and it's not bringing back, because the battle line, it's not just bringing back the wounds, you're bringing back the models. So you're doubling up what you're getting back instead of normal. Now, of course, they all have Deep Strike. The Nurgles have Infiltrate. So you infiltrate up a wall of Nurglings. 6 bases to each unit. You infiltrate it all up. There is a wall. That's Hadrian's wall there. A stench. That you're keeping them back in. So unless something has fly, unless something has, ability to get over that, you have to get through all these Nurglings first. And even though they're weak, they still have an invuln save.
And that's a lot of wounds.
It's so many wounds. It's not going to do any real damage, but it stops you. It's literally a wall.
Anyway, it actively makes you worse in melee, so you have to shoot them down, but that's so much health you've got to get through.
Yeah, so you do that. By the time you're getting through all that, the rest of the Plague Bearers have either deep struck onto all the objectives, or they've just moved up. You've got enough of the characters, because characters are cheap, so you just bring one of each. The Poxbringer is going to make... It affects leaderships. Yep, well, within 6, your leadership is worse. The Bile Piper then forces battle shock tests, and it makes things faster. And the Scrivener increases objective control. So the closer you get, the more deeper you get into this army, your leadership is suffering incredible, and you're forcing to make check after check after check. It's going to be so hard to break through and just, then keep your sanity as you're trying to fight through all this. And not a lot of it's going to deal a lot of damage, but it doesn't have to. And then you've got strats, Fettered Resilience. Just bring back... It's because, like I said, it's full models. Bring back D3 models to your battle line unit. That have extra wounds.
And yet, just to specify, that is Nurglings. Nurglings are battle line. That is 12 wounds worth for 1 CP. That's strong. Yeah,
exactly. And Fever Visions. Things that are battle shocked are better to hit. Plague of Woes. You just doubled your the Plague of the Shadow ability you doubled that ability for 1 CP. This is horrible. This is probably the worst thing you could ever play against. If someone brings this, if someone actually does this, I want them assaulted.
Legally speaking, you're not supposed to hit anyone. Morally speaking, the choice must be in your heart.
I think maybe you just leave. Maybe you just don't say anything. As soon as you see it, you just pack up and you just don't say a word. You just walk away.
Pinch your nose. Make it dramatic.
Yeah, you could. This is horrifying. This is the worst thing you can ever do in the history of everything. Don't do this. This is a precautionary tale. I'm showing you what you can do so you won't do it. And I guess, like I said, Epidemus, you just bring him back to the field because he's just going to aura farm as well to get more CP. Yeah, you don't even need him. He's just there to give you more command points.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so this is horrible. I hate looking at it. Chaos Cult, though.
Here we go again.
This is one of the largest. This is 200 units plus 5 characters. You take the Chaos Cult, so everything's faster. You can make Dark Pack's ability to make Desperate Packs to make everything faster so they can spread out on the board better. You're never going to do any damage with any cultist. They cannot deal damage. That's not what they're for. But the Dark Apostle will remove... They will remove... being battle shocked. That's mostly what you want to be doing. They can return models to their unit. Let's see, with the Cultist brand. Yep, you're re-rolling advance and charge. So that's good. Let's see what else we got going on. The Firebrand, yep, reroll leadership test, that's good. Cursed Flames, force infantry to make leadership tests. So that's good, that's more board control. And Cultist Mob, of course, you're getting you're sticking the objectives, and you've got 120 of them. That's a lot of opportunities to stick objectives. The Traitor Guardsmen, they have cover if they're on an objective. And the Felgor Beastmen, they come in turn 1 from reserves and can charge. There's no real strats you can sort of use. Most of the strats for this detachment are, take damage on the damned unit, so your Space Marines don't take damage. It's mostly, sacrifice these guys to make yourself better. But in this case, it's just all sacrifice, so it's all real. It's all good.
It's a lot of bodies to get through.
Yeah, I love the Selfless Demise, because it's like, okay, wipe out my 20 cultists. That's going to be 20 dices of mortal wounds you're going to take back.
And there's no limit on that. If you rolled all 6s, you could put down a land raider. Essentially,
yeah. So that's generally what you're going to be keeping your CP for, is just Selfless Demise. You've strapped bombs to all of them. So yeah, it's going to be hard to get through. The only real things doing damage are going to be the Traitor Guard squads. They do only hit on 4s, but you can take special weapons. So they're going to have plasma weapons. They're going to have grenade launches. They're going to be able to do alrightish damage. But your cultists are what's going to be keeping everything back. You can push them back. This, I feel, would be a little bit more fair to play than the Chaos Demons. It's not going to be as horrific because you're just cleaving through everything. If your opponent then says, I'm just going to take secondary, I'm just going to fix secondary objectives and just take... what's the one for killing all the infantry?
Oh, yeah, no, I know the one you mean.
You just take that one. That's free points. That's a lot of points you're getting every turn. So, yeah, that can go against your favor in some ways, but then so can all of these lists. So you've just got to hope that your opponent decides to go on random objectives rather than fixed. So, it is fun, though. It is fun just to send waves after wave of your own men to be thrown into the grinder.
Exactly.
It's what the Dark Apostles would want. Alright, so. Oops. Death Guard. This is a fun one, because, like I said, I went up against a version of this last tournament I was at. But he didn't have, it was only a couple of Poxwalker squads. And the Poxwalker squads, it took like literally half of my army to get through one. So half my Votan force had to shoot at one, the other half had to shoot at the other, and only just brought them all down. So they can be hard to remove. And this is 120 of them. 120 Poxwalkers. All with their just 5-up, feel no pain. But they have Infiltrate. And they are, going to be right in your face turn one. They're going to be grabbing the objectives. Then what you do is, you then bring up the Plague Marines to sticky the objectives. Oh, no, they can't. They don't have sticky. Which things have sticky? I forget, but that doesn't matter. Basically, they afflict. They can just shoot something, say you're afflicted, which can affect your leadership, your armor, your whatever. So you can slow people down pretty well with this as well. Because the Plague Marines are there just to shoot and debuff things. While this Typhus is going to be heading up there. The Noxious Bright Bringers. You attach them to the Poxwalkers, and you just reroll the move in advance. And
anything to get those Poxwalkers up as close and as fast as you can.
Yeah, so you can do that as the second wave, and they force the battle shock tests. So by being close to the Blightbringers, the less likely you are to be able to hold objectives. So yeah, it's all Poxwalkers, and of course the Shamble Rot, you just bring more Poxwalkers in. In a strike force, you're bringing them turn 2, 3, and 4. So that's almost 200 extra points you have just by bringing this detachment.
That's just... Oh, it's just the sheer level of difficult to kill and so many of them. You could quite reasonably drown your opponent in Poxwalkers with this list.
Essentially, it's the same as the...
Completely pin them down.
Yeah, as the Nurgle one. It's just you have all this stuff just coming at you. And it's not going to hurt you. It's not really going to do much to you. But it's so hard to get through it all. Kind of like in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, true.
You've just got to keep mowing down this force that keeps coming and coming and coming. Yeah, like the strat says there, shambling wall. That's what it is. It's just a wall of bodies. The Walking Dead.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you want to do a Walking Dead themed army, but you're not the heroes. You're the zombies. This is what you do. Very good. I wonder how you do that. How you do your team as from the Walking Dead, the survivors. I guess
I'd imagine Imperial agents.
Yeah, that or Imperial Guard.
Hmm.
See how that goes. Yeah, you could model that out. That'd be kind of fun.
Imperial Guard would have a hell of a time with this army if they didn't bring any vehicles.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's probably why they're having so much trouble in the comics and the show. They didn't have any flame tanks.
Makes sense. They should, but they don't.
Alright. Emperor's Children. This is also not good one. Mostly because Emperor's Children aren't very good. It's kind of just part of their whole theme. So you bring Carnival of Excess so you can actually take the Demonettes. That way you actually have cheap chaff. You can actually bring, some Demonettes as battle line. So as you can see, it's one character, everything else is battle line. You take the Tormentors over the other choice, because the other choice just has Scout. These have Infiltrate, and they have Objective Control. So you'll have full Objective Control from turn 1.
Yep.
And they're not bad, they're still Space Marines. They got some good weapons and such on them. They're like normal sort of tacticals.
That's your plasma, there's a fair bit of plasma too.
Yeah, exactly. So you can deal damage with Tormentors. They're 170. So they're gonna need to do their job to be worth their points. But essentially, they're all infiltrated up. The only one that's not is the one that's got your Sorcerer attached to it, but he's got his Warp Walker, so he can do a bit of fun stuff. He can just sort of teleport around. So that's good. And of course, then you have the Demonettes. The Demonettes' job is to then, turn 2, you just deep strike them all, majority of them in. I think you can fit 3. I can maths. That's 270. I think you could only fit 3 in deep strike. Because in a 1,500 point army, it'd be 375 points worth you can deep strike. So that would be... Oh no, that would be 4. Because 4 would be 360, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so you could fit 4 of them in deep strike. And just when they come at your Tormentors, just deep strike in the Demonettes. And yeah, they can just deep strike charge. They get the +1 to charge. On an 8+, they're getting in that charge.
Yep.
And then the fight first. So the whole theme of this is by turn 2, everything's locked in combat, and everything's pretty much at the middle of the board, if not pushing more into the enemy objective, enemy deployment zone. So you're up the board from turn 2, pushing in, and you just have to survive. You can take out these guys pretty easily. They're not the strongest. They will go down. But because of their speed, because they've done this so fast, from turn 2, you are stuck into it. It's going to be hard to do it in enough time to recruit your objective points.
And the Tormentor's objective to find ability, I think, could be like the real crux of this is it's not that you sticky
absolutely.
the objective. When your tormentors land there, you sticky the objective at OC 20. If you can break down your enemy's army enough that their OC is in shambles, they could possibly never take any of the points off you again.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, we're just going to stay here. Yeah. Let's have a look. And all the strats are basically the same thing. Fall back, shoot, be faster. Consolidate. Oh, yeah, the violent crescendo. Yeah, consolidate into 6-inch pile-in.
Ooh.
Like, you can slingshot some guys in pretty well. Yeah, here we go. Dark Apparitions. One Demonite army that was removed from the battlefield. Strengthen reserves. Next movement phase. Deep strike them in 6 inches. Yeah, provided set up within the Emperor's Children. So, yeah, you want your Demonettes to be pretty close to your Tormentors to get that reaction. And then they have the empowered weapons. Yeah, they're just working in combination. You got like I said, it's a combo of units. Each 2 types of units is buffing the other one. So, yeah. Pretty much on theme with Slaanesh. This is exactly what Slaanesh wants to do. Get in there fast and hard, and once it takes enough damage, once it takes a beating back, like, the damage has already been done. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't care how much you hit it back if it's already hit first. Yeah, disgusting. Absolute filth. Alright, so Carnival Excess. Like I said, I think it's pretty good. It's probably not the best. Everything has to go perfectly. But I guess that can be said for anything. Thousand Suns. It's all goats.
Finally a reason for all those combat patrol boxes.
Yeah, it's all goats. I didn't think this looked very good on paper, but I'm told some people have brought pretty close versions of this, and they said they did really well with it. So I'm gonna take their advice. I'm gonna go with what they say. Because you still have some of the abilities. You don't have all of them because, of course, you're not bringing any Marines. But these guys enough on themselves, like you can still cast the spells and everything because you've got the Shamans. So you're still going to be able to Doom Bolt and stuff, all that broken stuff. But yeah, the Zangor's having Scout. So again, everything's pretty fast and just moving all up, grabbing objectives. The main damage dealers for this army are the Great Bows. Yeah, because they have all dev wounds, don't they? Something like that. They can deal damage, and they can move and do damage. So you've got this front line of nothing but Zangors, just beastmen, just running up. And then, of course, you've got the bows in the back to just sort of snipe things off straight from behind. And, of course, do the spells. And, yeah, your damage deals are being protected by this wall of goat bodies, essentially. Surprisingly, not really, like, tricky to run. Like, you'd think more of a Thousand Suns armies is like a thinky one. You've got to plan stuff out. This is like the least thinking that needs to be done. Which is, I guess makes sense. They're all beastmen. They're all goats. They don't have brains.
Yep, just run straight at them.
Yeah. Run straight at them for Zinch. So it's very much... I guess it's not really very Zinchian, but...
The thing you're going to struggle with on this one, I think, is the highest strength output on any of their weapons, I think, is strength 5.
Yeah, like I said, you're sort of hoping for more the dev wounds and the rituals to do real damage.
Oh.
The rest of it's going to be sort of just holding things back.
I tell a lie. Baleful Devolution from the Shaman is strength 9, but with AP 0, damage 1, and 18 inches on the range, you're not taking out any vehicles with that, I think.
No, absolutely not. It's, like I said, it's mostly there just to, yeah, you're just hedging your bets.
Mhm.
But that's how you play goats. Again, I don't think this one is very powerful, but apparently it does work. I've just probably done not a great version of it. But, you know, then I'd have to actually play as Thousand Suns.
Yeah, pass, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. After Thousand Suns, we're looking at World Eaters. This is a weird detachment, the Cult of Blood. Because it relies on having an idol there, like an Angron, a Lord of Skulls, a Demon Prince, something really big that they're all worshipping, and then they get the aura buff from that. But the aura buff are mostly useless. They don't actually do much, so I think it's probably better to just have more bodies than rely on this, little buff to sort of help you guys, because what was it again that we looked at? It was like one was like +1 to hit.
+1 to hit and +1 to wound.
They're jackals and goremongers. They're not really. They've got like strength 4 weapons or whatever. Who cares? they're already hitting badly. They're not going to do much damage even if they get some rerolls. The only good one was that invuln save one, but I mean it's 20 jackals. Who cares? Yeah,
It's like. Your jackals are going to get a 4-up invuln save. Cool. They're just going to aim at the other jackals on the far side of the board because you're going to have a hard time fitting 120 jackals on the board in general.
Exactly. This whole unit's 168. This is one of the larger sizes of infantry spam armies. And yeah, with this ability for goremongers. Because they all have infiltrate, don't they? Yeah, so you have all your goremongers with infiltrate. And they're going to be advancing, charging, they're going to be running forward. Meanwhile, the jackals are coming up behind and just grabbing all the objectives. So you are just sending all these waves into the slaughter. Let's see, drawn to slaughter. Yep, bring up a jackal squad died. Cool. I'll just bring another one back in. That's 140 points back in. So yeah, like I said, I don't think the real mechanic of the detachment is its strong point. I think they just want you to fit Angron into every World Eater's army you can.
I mean, to be fair, it is a strong model to have in an army, but we're not winning this one by destroying our enemies.
No,
we're winning this one by being invulnerable, basically.
Exactly, because Khorne doesn't care where the blood comes, as long as the blood comes. So yeah, it wants you to throw all these jackals, and then just their bleeding corpses slow down the enemy. The enemy will slip like on banana peels on the blood of your jackals. And while they're slipping and falling in the blood, you've stolen everything that was important on the battlefield.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's all about that. It's all just running him straight in and hoping the blessings give you the buffs that you need to get in the place you want to be for the reroll charges and the extra piling and consolidations.
Yep. There's a certain green someone said, if you're not getting stuck in, you're just mucking about.
Pretty much. So yeah, what have I written here for notes? Jackals, yep. Stick objectives, infiltrate, first turn charge, keep enemy back, will deal no real damage, but die easy. Because yeah, Khorne doesn't care if it's your blood or your enemy's blood, just as long as it's blood. He's happy. Yeah, that's Cult of Blood. A lot of blood in this army.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to see a theme. Good stuff. All right, away from Chaos. We're looking at Eldar.
Oh, boy.
So I was mentioning, most people, I think, like the army that I saw the guard player go against, he was running the other detachment where you get the multiple maneuvers. I don't think the multiple maneuvers really help this army very well, so we'll go with Guardian Battle Host, just so they're able to deal damage. Yeah, the +1 to hit on objective markers, so they're able to really take objectives, really hurt you for trying to take objectives with this, because they're already really accurate, so now they're going to be hitting on 2s. And a lot of Guardian Defenders, a lot of Storm Guardians, This is a lot of fusion guns. This is a lot of bright lances. It's the same with Space Marines. We've got these guys that just have a massive assortment of weapons. But instead of having better armor and toughness, they just have more guys. So this is...
I think it'd work. I think it'd be really strong to just... Yeah, every turn until you start wiping the units out, you're just going to be getting those... what are they called? The bright lances. You're just going to be getting just endless waves of firepower against you.
Exactly. And this is, yeah, just shy of... This is 149 models. So that's enough to really hold things back. That's enough to really storm a battlefield. So yeah, the Warlocks are there mostly just to... what do they do? Runes of Fortune, yep. Stop the charge roll from being as fast. And just the two enhancements there. Just two Guardians now have Infiltrate. That's really good. So now you have the Rangers infiltrating and you have some Guardians infiltrating. So you already get board control from the start of the game. And then Breath of Vol, that's a great one for just having your Storm Guardians dealing damage with their fusion guns. So you just have, alright, the Warlock's going with the Storm Guardian squad. He's going to be there to deal damage to some pretty choice opponents. You just point him in the direction of the bigger threats. But that being said, the Storm Guardians of their own, they've all got, yeah, like I said, fusion guns. They're going to be able to take out a lot of stuff. And the Guardian Defenders, yeah, they can fade back without having to spend the maneuver points. And the Storm Guardians are grabbing the objective control. As I said, the cost of victory, yeah, you can just bring back Guardians for 1 CP. As long as it's not fully destroyed, you can just take it off the field and it comes back fully replenished. Yeah, Blades of Azurian. You can now shoot into combat. There's a lot of good stuff here. I think the Guardian Battle Host has been incredibly underutilized.
Yeah, I think this is the sort of army that has a degree of answer to everything. It's not going to flat out win against every army. It is still going to struggle against heavy armor levels of army, but it's got a stronger answer than most of the armies we've covered so far. For a chaff army, it's really very good.
It is funny. It's like it's full glass cannon, but there's so many cannons. Like, this is surprising because, yeah, it's 147 units. So what do the other ones have? Yeah, like we said, the World Eaters, that was 170, just shy of 170. This is just shy of 150. But this is going to wipe out so much of that without an answer. So it's, yeah, pretty much who gets to the important points first.
Yeah, you hold your enemy a distance from you. You cede a little bit of ground, and they pay blood for every inch they take on the table.
Yeah,
it's great.
I could see this when this gets into the right sort of point of attack. This could wipe out really effectively, like almost the entire army, your opponent's army. If everything's in line of sight and can be shot at, this is going to shoot it off the table, like without a problem. So this is insanely dangerous. So yeah, I don't know why you haven't seen this. I think this is very much a missed opportunity.
Well, to be fair, it's a lot of Guardian models, and for the longest while, it's been vehicles and Wraith constructs. I'm not 100% sure I've ever seen anyone with this many Guardian models.
That's true. They like to put Eldar as like, oh, we don't have that, we're a dying race. We don't have that many people to risk putting on a field. But when you put that many elves on a field, it literally becomes like in Lord of the Rings, when you had all the, when they have an army of elves, and they just slaughter through a whole bunch of orcs with ease.
Absolutely, and remember, folks, jump over the pipelines. Just do it. Just jump over the pipelines. Don't think about it.
Just to absolutely flex on them. Just for no advantage other than flexing. That's all it was.
Yep.
Yeah, the Guardian Battle Host, the ultimate flex army, is what I'm saying. All right. Looking at Dark Eldar, their dark counterpart. Oh yes, yes, even more unnaturally flexible. So, this is the Cartel one, where you get some little bonuses for selecting, whatchamacallit, the contracts. The contracts don't really matter so much, because contracts pretty much just enable you to attack, like, one thing really well. But, you know, attacking one thing really well isn't really going to win you the game. All it just does is give you extra pain tokens. Alright, whatever. Who cares? That's, yeah. The main thing you're doing this for is to be able to field all these guys better. So yeah, the 3 Archons. Archons are expensive, but there's some fun things you can do with them. Like I said, we got the Informant Network. So that gives 3 warriors Infiltrate. The Mandrakes already have Infiltrate. And yeah, you got Towering Arrogance, and you've got the Webway, so you can deep strike these guys in. So even though you don't have ships, you don't have the boats to deep strike you guys in and do your hit and run stuff, everyone's still going to be able to move up the board relatively fast, and they're going to be able to hold the objective pretty well. So even though everyone's on foot, you're still where you need to be very fast. And they have a lot of abilities to sort of avoid being hit. Like, everything has stealth. You can give your warriors with the Deadly Deceivers. You know, you can make, hey, you can only attack this guy. You can make instead of the other guys. Yeah, there is a way, even though these guys are glass cannons as well, you can make them more defendable. Yeah, there you go. You got smoke with the Phantasm grenades and such. But their also ability is they can deal so much damage. They are so painful to fight against.
That the Cavalite Warrior one in particular is, if you think you're holding that objective, they are going to show you exactly how even their most basic weapons will stretch your armor to pieces. Yeah. Just full reroll wounds is so strong.
Yeah. You've got that, what have I got there? Yeah, Archons can fix the Battle Shock ability as well. They can just make you, no longer Battle Shock, so you're taking that. Everything's fast, super accurate. So, yeah, that's right, and Mandrakes can deal dev wounds. Yeah, this is a painful, it's not super spammy, because it is only 90 units. These are expensive chaff infantry, but they're effective. They're really effective. These are pure assassins. So, yeah, if you can strike first, you're dealing so much damage, and you're, pretty much debilitating your opponent from coming back and taking what you've already taken.
Yep, it's quintessential Drakari. Like, this is what they do, and they do it very well.
The key difference here is these guys don't really have an exit strategy. That's their main thing is, unlike other raiding forces where it's hit and run, this is hit and stay. I guess that's where you draw the difference there.
Yeah.
Alright, enough of Dark Eldar. They are scary.
Yes.
Genestealer cults. Just as scary.
Yep.
You take all these hybrids. So you have all these hybrids, and they, like I was saying with the Eldar and such, they can take some pretty good weapons. Mining lasers, incinerate. They got a lot of good weapon options. They're not super accurate, but they, as you say, they come in from reinforcements, from they set up on the board, and they have sustained, it ignores cover. Like playing with my Leagues of Votann against them, and they destroyed a whole land fortress. Just they came out and they ripped it apart, and I was like, oh, okay, dang.
Yep.
So yeah, the Magus is there to fix Battle Shock. The Nexus is there to make cult ambushes even better. The Primus is there to... Players have set up their armies. Yeah, you can redeploy stuff. You can have more stuff in Strategic Reserve with the Primus. That's its ability. So your characters are there to just, from the start, just do this support action. They're not there to actually really deal damage or deal much on the battlefield. It's just all the setup support. As for the Patriarch, of course, he's there to go with the Gene Stealers and just wreak havoc. And, of course, once the Gene Stealers die, you've got a little 5-man squad you can just bring back for a couple of Resurgency points. So, yeah, you've got some smaller units to spend less points on. Because it's isn't that weird? It's 5 models for 2 Resurgence, 10 models for 6.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, they are more powerful the more there are, though, but it just seems weird to me.
And is it worth, like, is that the equivalent? Do I want 1 10-model squad, or do I want 3 5-model squads?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you're constantly regenerating this army is the thing. The hybrids, of course, are grabbing the objective control, so they can do that there. Of course, everything's, deep strike and such. You can, everything's got great leadership. So yeah, this is a scary army. I faced similar armies. It had all the vehicles in it as well, and that sort of gave me a lenience because I had more breathing room because they weren't just one massive blob. They were sort of spreading things around, so I was able to sort of cut at different flanks and then sort of wrap around. But if there is no edge for you to gain an advantage around, if you can't pincer something, you just have to go through it, or it goes through you. So the only real candidate is just some really insanely strong spearhead. And that's always going straight up the middle in a spearhead is always risky, no matter what the circumstance.
Well, it's a great way to get surrounded, isn't it?
Yes, and that's exactly what this army is all about. So this has got a lot of dangerous stuff going on. You cannot let your guard down in any way against this army.
Yep, exactly.
Alright, so that's enough of Gene Stealer cults. Votan. Originally, I thought this was going to be the Berserk detachment when your Berserks become battle line. You cannot spam that, though, because Berserks, as you can see, 10 or 200 points. So, yeah, you do not have the points to spam nothing but Berserks, especially since only, if you have a 15-point army, you can only put 2 10-mans in Deep Strike. That's your limit for reserves. So even though everything has Deep Strike, you cannot utilize that. That was very confusing for me, because I thought, just Deep Strike the majority of the army, and you can't with them. They're too expensive to do that. You're very much not Gene Stealer cults, despite being tunnelers. The Berserks, even though they get battle line, they're too elite. They are not basic infantry. They are elite infantry. So there's no real point to battle lining them unless you have a really, large... If you're playing more than 2,000 points. I wouldn't be doing that. It doesn't add any bonus. So the Persecution Prospect is a much better idea if you're going to go nothing but warrior spam. Because, of course, you got the Jaegers. I really think this also needs to make Jaegers battle line. I think that's what this detachment is really missing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, the Jaegers should be battle line. I should be taking more Jaegers and less Berserks in this detachment. That's what I'll say about that. But the idea here is you teleport in a couple of the warriors with the Carl's teleport crest, just to mess things up in the backfield, because the warriors are then gonna have the objective control. The Jaegers are gonna infiltrate up. They got some fun weapons as well. They can deal a fair bit of damage, but essentially they're just there to do the early caps and then run back while the warriors have time to then push up. They do their assail. So basically you want to assail as much as you can to just pin everything down, slow it down. Basically your speed, because you're already slow. You want to even the playing field. And then of course, yeah, your warriors come up, and warriors, once they're on objectives, are going to be pretty hard to push off, because they're going to get that -1 to be wounded when you're in your defend stage. I didn't mention it on the cheat sheet, but you've got the Menair strategist. He's there to just be in your backfield and just decide if you're going to lose yield points or gain yield points, because sometimes you might need to be in the attack phase, so you get the rerolls to charge, and then other times, once you've got all the objectives, you're going to want to try and make sure you maximize that to get into the defend mode. So he's there to help shape the battlefield, essentially. And as you see for strats, to switch from hostile to, you can just say, hey, even though you're in defend, I'm going to make this one go into hostile, just so we can get the extra charge. So there's ways you can shape your army to be a lot more reactive to what's going on in the battlefield. It is a lot of movement, sort of shenanigans going on with this. Even though they are a slow army, this sort of makes them faster. I guess that's really what it sort of does. It makes a slow army become fast for a dwarf, as well as slowing down your opponent. So it's like dragging yourself down into the mud. It's, I'm reminded of The King, when the English are attacking the French. The movie with Timothy Chalamet and Edward Cullen in it.
Oh, yes.
And the English attack the French, and the French, of course, have all their elite horsemen. But the English are like, we know how to fight in the mud, so we're going to wait till it rained really heavily. Now we're going to put all our guys in the middle of this field, all our polemen, heavily armored ones. We're going to stay in the mud here. So the horses come down, they drag them all down in the mud. Now they've lost all their speed.
Yep.
So that's
all that advantage just disappears. You gotta love it.
Exactly. And then with the longbowmen from the Englishmen, they just shot the hell out of them. And then they ran in and basically with their berserks, they basically did that. They had low armor. All their infantry was then low armored, and they ran in and they just could move around in the mud. Whilst the heavily armored knights of the French were just weighed down and suffocated.
Yeah, because and on that note, I do think Assailed from this list is going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. If you can, 6 squads worth of Hearthkin warriors, you fire control the hell out of that. And every frontline enemy unit, every fast mover, every close combat unit, every short range assault unit, suddenly the field is that much bigger. Suddenly the massive attack you were going to unleash next turn is going to be shattered all to hell, simply because you can't make it there anymore. The map becomes so much larger for your enemy, while it is similarly just a bit smaller for you. It upsets the balance entirely, and if your opponent's not fully aware of that, they're going to lose a lot of momentum.
Exactly. And this is, like I said, even though they're baseline warriors, they have mass. It's hard to shift them, because they do have feel no pain. They do have they only have 4-up armor, but it's pretty easy to get cover. You can't just shoot them away very easily.
Yep, exactly. And of all things, the toughness 5 carries a lot in this regard, because anything that's a bolter or less is only ever going to be wounding on 5s.
Especially because then if you get the neg 1 to be wounded, if you go into the defense stratagem, now if it's bolter against a warrior, you're wounding on a 6.
Yep. Your army is anti-infantry, not so much for the firepower you output, but by the fact that they just can't hurt you.
Yep. Exactly. Now, with this whole... What they've done with this, it feels very much like okay that they only have a... I was always upset that they had a 4-up save. They didn't have a 3-up save. Now I'm like, all right, it's okay. I see what's going on here. I see how you've justified it. That's fair. All right. So yeah, I like this one. I think going the other one with the basically doing Rhino Rush, I had a lot of fun with that. I think that's probably the most effective one, but this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. I'd love to see someone use it. All right, so Necrons. This is one you made.
Yeah, I'm fairly familiar with a build like this. So what you're looking at with Awakened Dynasty is naturally you still have reanimation protocols, but anytime you have a character in a unit, that's +1 to hit. So all of those Immortal and Warrior squads, for as tough and hard to shift as they may be, they're all hitting on 2. Well, the Immortals are hitting on 2s. The Warriors are finally hitting on 3s again, as is proper. But what we're looking at is the benefits from the Cryptics. So your Plasmancers are giving any critical effects on the weapons like Tesla's Teslaing effect or the Gauss's Gauss effect or the lethal hits hitting on 5s.
Yeah, lethal hits on 5s. Ooh.
Lethal, and with 20 warriors, that's a lot of lethal hits. The AP is so-so, but anything's going to be suffering lost wounds from that volume of fire. And I mean, you put the Chronomancers on the Immortals in this case, which doesn't necessarily make as much sense, but the trick is your Immortals then become super fast. They're moving 6 inches natively. They've got advance and shoot because they're assault weapons, and anytime any one model from that unit can hit an enemy with a shooting attack, that unit can then move another d6 inches thanks to the Chronomancer, and it gives them stealth. That's toughness 5, 3-up armor save, sits in cover, has stealth. Very hard to shift.
Well, that's it.
And the warriors just don't die.
Yeah, the warriors in that, like, even though you haven't got like an anti-large sort of built in, the fact that you've got 5-up lethals, that's going to kill like large things quite quick. I remember we saw that a lot with when Guard just had lethals on everything. Like,
yep, that was a time.
Yeah, no, Guardsmen could just take out anything. It didn't matter. You just fished for 6s, and that just, pushed the saves. Even if you had a good save, you had to make so many of them. Just numbers-wise, you had to lose eventually.
And so you pile on top of that one very valuable point from the Immortals. If you're shooting at an enemy on an objective marker, you reroll all your wounds. So the Tesla just starts coming and it doesn't stop coming. Yeah,
so you can pretty much take out anything. Like, even though they're basic infantry, they have the rules that let them be destructive against really anything.
Exactly. We do take Veil of Darkness just to allow a cheeky little redeploy on the map.
I think you really need that.
You do. It's a huge mobility ability. If your enemy leaves even one backline objective exposed or a valuable character farming for CP in the back exposed, you go take that out. That's a big win for you.
Yeah, exactly.
On top of that, you take the Netherrealm Casket on a Plasmancer, and that gives the Plasmancer's whole unit stealth. Those warriors are suddenly much harder to hit. You pair that with the Royal Warden. Warden means that if your enemy's going to pile into melee with this unit, which, fair, you can fall back and shoot, which is glorious. Wouldn't necessarily bother with the charge unless they were really close to dying. And you just pick one Necron unit to unbattle shock, and it just keeps, like, the leadership is quite high on Necrons for the most part, and this just keeps it really quite stable.
Yeah, the Warden is really good value because 50 points. He can really help a lot.
And he's rare in characters because he has a 2 damage ranged attack, which you normally don't see outside of like named characters. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little confused as to what makes his weapon a relic weapon, per se. Like, I figure the whole race is relics at this point.
That's a good point. What isn't more than thousands and thousands of years old? What's new?
Exactly. And the best part about this detachment is built for exactly this. So every one of your stratagems is effective.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're really seeing. Unlike the other couple of detachments with like one or two good stratagems, you use all of them. All of them are useful.
So, did someone snipe out one of your characters? Protocol the Eternal Revenant. No, they didn't. Conquering Tyrant. If you're within half range, you can start re-rolling hits. You want those lethals? You get those lethals.
Oh yeah, re-rolling all hits on 5-ups.
Yep. It's how you put stuff down. Hungry Void. Even if it's like, if you do get into combat, these guys are now suddenly strength 5. They AP of their close combat weapons, which is just whacking them with your weapon, that goes up to AP -1. Like, it becomes genuinely a concern to face down any one of these units in melee, so you have to think around that. Sudden Storm. Ranged weapons equipped by your unit have assault. Like, not so much valuable for the Immortals with Teslas. For the Warriors, you want to get... It goes a great pair 1-2 with Conquering Tyrant, because you're suddenly halfway up the board, all within half range of a very valuable enemy unit, and you're re-rolling all hits, just fishing for those lethals. Undying Legions. Did your unit take damage? No, it didn't. You just immediately bring back models.
Exactly.
Protocol of the Vengeful Stars. Like, one of your units gets shot. The Immortals get shot by an enterprising infantry unit. Fire back. You have better firepower.
Yeah, it's better than just normal Overwatch. It's double Overwatch.
If we had the points, would have put in the teleporting overlords with the Immortals, because that just so massively extends their threat range. They just basically auto 11-inch movement per turn, ignoring terrain and intervening models. But as we're aware, Necron characters are somewhat on the expensive side.
Yeah, and the fact that your main warrior battle line is 200 points, for a chaff army, it is very expensive. I think in the whole thing, it's 110 units, 6 characters, so it is on the lowest level, but it is, like I said, your infantry, your spamming of them is what's going to get you the victory, because it's just hard to move, and they're deceptively dangerous. So, deceptively fast as well. There's ways to just get shenanigans on that.
Anyone who says Necrons aren't a fast army hasn't been playing the last couple editions. They go so fast when they want to.
Well, that's it. It's just when they want to. I was told another guy was testing a similar army out, and he said, it did pretty good. He was pretty happy with how it worked. It was just a lot of work. It is sort of a lot of mental you have to put in this. This isn't just a point and roll dice at target to win. It is, it's going to be a bit exhausting to play this kind of army.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of that, because next we have Orcs. Green
it's
Tide.
The boys.
Yeah. So this is a fun one because it's all boys all the time. This is one of the largest size ones, 186 plus 3 weird boys. So just shy of 190 units. It is fun. This is exactly what you want from Orcs. And unlike the other stuff that we was talking about, this is just literally, that's your target, go take it. Don't even think anything above that. Just decide when you do your war, which is probably going to be the second turn. You don't really need to worry because you got a 5-up invuln on your boys anyway, so you don't need the defensive war part isn't going to be that interesting. But yeah, if you can get a jump on all of them, like jump 3 units straight forward, have the war going off, and then just do your charge from there, pretty early in the game, you're keeping your enemy back. they've now got 60 boys they have to get through before they can start moving out of their home field. So, yeah, the couple of things, the bloodthirsty belligerents, yep, reroll charges, you need that.
Need that.
Brutal but cunning, yeah, get some more CP, which is good. So you got Gretchen in your back, just farming CP on the battle objectives. Yeah, the boys.
You spread those guys out as well. They prevent deep strike in a fairly large.
Yeah, you
area
can
with 22 models.
you can screen so well with Gretchen, and they're so cheap they don't matter. And they're just gonna grab your backfield, grab half the board's objectives, and just hold on to them. While your boys are just running up, and whatever objective they get close to on their way up the field, they're gonna claim as they run. Oh yeah. And yeah, you can bring them back to life. You can... what's the bragging rights one do? 2 with each other. Oh yeah, you can just... Basically, if it had 2 wounded squads, like one's only got 9 units left in it, you can just say, "Ah, you're part of our squad now," and now they get the 5-up invuln back. Yeah, tie to muscle, reroll the charge. Pretty much everything is revolved around getting stuck into combat as fast as you can. The combat's not going to be that much, like, greater effect. The combat's just going to be combat. There's no real bonus to that. It's just the fact of how fast and how likely you are to do it. You can so reliably get into combat and just push everything back because you're boys. You're toughness 5. You're gonna hold there. You're gonna hold strong.
You are not worried about pretty much any infantry army. Vehicles are just there for you to surround.
Pretty much. You're not going to be...
drown them out.
Yeah, you're not going to be killing anything. You have no anti-large at all, but that doesn't matter. You're just going to surround a tank, and you're just going to hold it there in place. You're just going to be banging on the side, telling them to come out and play, and they're just going to hide inside it for the rest of the game. So yeah. And like I said, this is a fun one because it's just, you don't have to think. There is no think, you only do.
Don't think, just wah.
Exactly. So, don't believe me, just wah. Good stuff. Yeah, orcs, very simple, and it's what you'd expect out of them. Yeah, it's how orcs should be, really.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's right. Alright. Next, very similar, but also very different. We've got Kroot. The Kroot Hunting Pack. This is 186 models of Kroot. Plus...
You certainly will not regret taking 186 models of Kroot.
Oh god, this is going to be the most exhausting thing to ever do. But, yeah, when you talk about board control, when you talk about denying deep strike, this is one of the... Because everything has infiltrate or scout 7. Like, that is so much. You just... Yeah, just everyone spread out. Whatever you do, don't stand next to each other. Just... Yeah, you're throwing a net onto the board of play. You just cast your massive net of what's going on. And yeah, 5-up invulns against range attacks. You just have that. They're not the strongest.
The stealth is very good. Hold on.
Oh god, that's stealth as well.
It's just like, but you got to get through. Everything has stealth. Everything has invuln against range attacks. You've just got to get through all of these bodies to be able to get anything done, and they are still hunting you while you're doing it.
And that's the thing. Everything that's debuffed, like, yeah, as soon as you're taking a wound, they smell the blood, and they just pounce on you. They're trying to get...
Yep.
As soon as they get an edge in, as soon as they get a finger in to just, get a good grip advantage, they're going to rip it out. That's the whole thing. They're just waiting to find the small break in the armor, and they're going to exploit that.
Yep.
And then, yeah, join the hunt. You can bring him back. You can bring back 140 points of crude infantry. There you go.
So many crude. It's so many.
And yeah, like I said, in one of my notes here, carnivores have stick objectives. Scout 7's crazy fast. Infiltrates fast. And the fast stalker snipers are good. You've got no AP, but that doesn't matter. Like I said, dealing damage doesn't matter. It does for a couple of things. The Shaper. The War Shaper has his root-carved weapons. And it sounds so low-tech. Like, all their stuff sounds so cavemanish. But root-carved weapons. You now have precision and dev wounds on his dart bow and tri-blade. He's got a bow and arrow that is going to be doing dev wounds against any character, and it's heavy. So he stands still because he infiltrated up with the fast stalkers. And as soon as he sees, like, your HQ, he sees, like, a Space Marine, whatchamacallit, captain or commander, chapter master. He sees Calgar there. On a 3-up, that's 2 mortal wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So he's heavy, so he's hitting on 3s. He also has assault, so he can get there fast. But essentially, if he rolls well enough, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3's a dev wound, and it's 2 damage apiece. He can assassinate anyone.
And just thinking of the way it works, you have the nastiest unit I've faced, arguably, in this edition with Space Marines is that full plasma squad with a lieutenant to give them rerolls. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, and you put an ancient there, they shoot on death.
Put the dart bow on the tri-blade with the hunter's instincts. One of the plasma guys dies to his own plasma, and suddenly the lieutenant has 3 arrows stuck in his neck, and he's just gone.
It's just
the unit that self-destructs.
You just took out all their leadership, and it's with just this bow. Dart bow tri-blade. That's a root-carved weapon. What dark magic is this? Yeah, I don't understand Kroot. I really don't. I don't get it. But, yeah, God. And then, yeah, even the hounds, even though they have no, I don't think I put that there, but yeah, basically, if they're next to other Kroot, they, characters, I think, yeah, that's right. It's just, if they're next to a character, they get OC back. So even though they don't have OC, they can get it. Yeah.
But yeah. It's the low ping pounce, I think, works well with them, is you're near Kroot infantry, cool, just yeet them down the board to pin down an enemy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can use them to slingshot. They basically just slingshot your hounds towards the enemy. Yeah, this is...
That's like, what, a 19, 20-inch threat range? Like, there's no unit that is so tough it can't afford to move up the board. It can't afford to do nothing.
Yeah, so this is... Yeah, I don't even want to think about having to actually fight this. I don't know what I'd do. But, yeah, because like when we did the original review of the Codex, and I said, all right, this is like probably the least powerful one in the whole detachment. You know, Kroot are weak, but then, you know, everything's weak until you build it into like a pyramid. Like, everything can be stacked until it's no longer weak. And, yeah. If you have a chain that's only as strong as its weakest link, but every link is identical, then that's an undestroyable chain. Some sort of metaphor like that. But anyway, yeah, Kroot. This is horrific. I haven't really seen people do this because I think people just are put off. Well, there's a lot of things that put people off from this army. This is a very off-putting army just by looking at it. But the other factors are you can't use the normal tower abilities, you can't use the greater good, you can't use yeah, you don't have all this fantastic tower shooting abilities. They're not that great.
And you have to own so many Kroot. You have to have the Kroot.
Yeah, that's your other limitation. So, daunting as it is, this would be incredible. So let's hope we never see it.
Exactly.
Lastly, Tyranids.
Oh boy.
And Tyranids...
Speaking of swarms.
This is the largest. This is the largest because... Actually, I think this is the second largest. Yeah, because the Chaos... The Cultist one was 200 units plus 5 characters. This is 202 units plus 1 character. So this is the second largest. All Hormagaunts, all Termagaunts. You got a couple of Lictors just to do some shenanigans of... you know, it's good to just have a guy that can just be wherever he needs to be and do certain objectives and be stealthy and such. It's just, yeah, a Lictor is important to have for various reasons. But essentially the bulk of the army, of course, is the insurmountable odds. Everything is surging forward. Yeah, I think you give the... Yeah, 3. Just trying to read through it. It's too much to read. Too much to read. Oh, God, yeah. Start of the first battle round, the naturalized camouflage. Yeah, select 3 of the endless mutalids within 9, and you get the benefit of cover. So, yeah, the Wing Prime is just giving everything cover from the start. It's got its gargoyles. It'll just run around. Basically, you just keep the Prime around until it jumps in and does Shadow of the Warp to try and take out as much things as it can. But essentially, it is a bit more of a thinky one than like the other armies. You do have to sort of pick your targets a bit better, but essentially it is just rush as much as you can forward as fast as you can. It is an endless swarm. And yeah, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but it's so much. Yeah.
It's just you deprive your enemy of the entirety of the board. You can't, like, they don't get a chance to think. They don't get the space to be able to maneuver or do anything. It's just there is 200 Tyranids in your face. Suffer.
Yeah, you don't have
just endless suffering.
Any breathing room. This is literally you're playing as the other side in Space Marine 2. You're playing as the Tyranids in Space Marine 2. Sorry. That is fun for some people. For some psychopaths. So yeah, that's the whole point of the army. Some of the strats are pretty fun. Like the preservation one, no, you don't have blast. That's a really fun counter. Like, this is the only like army that really gets that, and it makes sense. Yeah, bounding advance, just move forward 6 automatically. Teaming mass, yeah, so many things you're hard to hit because you just keep moving around, and it's like, which one do I hit? There's so many to hit. And of course, yeah, just bring it back once it's dead. It's funny that one's the because the endless waves, yeah, once per battle, which is strange because I think a lot of the other ones don't have the once per battle. It's just these guys have once per battle.
Well, I mean, you're bringing back 20 mod, like you spend that a fair bit. Like, yeah, I get it. It doesn't make that much sense. It strikes me that Tyranids should also be able to do this over and over and over again.
Yeah. Because they say, yeah, endless multitude. So it is only the chaff, but yeah.
Yeah.
They did...
but it makes sense.
Yeah, maybe that's fair. Maybe they all should be just saying once per battle, but...
Yep.
I guess they just didn't expect anyone else to do this. They think only Tyranid players would be doing this, so only they need to be kept in check.
Yet here we are.
In a bleak, horrible future, that is the end of the edition. where anything goes.
Might as well.
Oh, that's it. Let's just go crazy. Let's just, do everything that seems like a bad idea. Let's just do it.
Yep, absolutely.
Pure anarchy going forward. Right. And of course, I didn't put the guard one in because we've already seen the best version of the guard one. Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows it. So that's why I didn't include it. I can't improve on what's already tournament winning and at the best level it's going to be in. So
exactly.
Yeah, can't do that. But geez, it took 2 hours. It took me a whole day, literally a whole day, to put all this together. This was a lot of work.
So many factions, so many armies.
Yeah, I had to look into every single. I'm glad we got this one out of the way. The next one we'll do will be a lot more, a lot more fun. But yeah, like it would be weird to see if everyone just did this from now on. Just if the meta shifted just to nothing but bringing these types of armies. Because I remember at the end of, I think it was it 8th? There was, back when you could still daisy line things. One of the tournaments I went to, back when I didn't really care about winning tournaments, I just wanted to play. One of the armies I saw was Demons versus Nids, and it was the triangular detachment. So what they did was both players, they just lined out like a literal line of demons across the center of the board diagonally. There was a line of that, and there was a line going around their whole board side. And each player did that. One with demons, one with termagants. That's what they did. They just zoned out their entire thing to just stop Deep Strike. So it was just two almost identical diagonal board sides of just chaff, and the only real fighting that was going on was like by two Death Star type units. It looked like, I'm like, wow, look at that. Like, this is horrible. This is so exhausting. Like, that we have to go to these lengths to try and get... the counterplay is just do a mirror play.
Yep. No. Pass. Bring on 11th. Come on, let's get this over and done with.
Well,
please.
Exactly. That's pretty much where we ended. It was like, all right, I think I'm done with this edition. So we might be heading there now. I think that's what we're in. So it'll be another 6 months of
rolling 26
of seeing this. So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Let me know what you liked and hated. Which one you'll try, which one you'll try and avoid, and all that. And let's all hope for a better future on the horizon.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Catch you next time.